methodically just keep adding new things to it as we go. Right? So when we get to plants, I'm going to say plants are like boxes. It's like, I'm going to show you how to make them boxes with leaves in it. Right? So that's how we're going to do it. But boxes are the essential element that you kind of have to understand in order to really make this work. Okay? So, first, when you're going to draw a box in perspective, the cross line in the back has to be smaller than the horizontal line. Okay? So, smaller, larger, right? So then, you're going to connect them like this. Now that means the box is going down. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So then, the number 2 line, which is right here, okay, is always the longest, which means this has to be at least a little bit shorter, and this has to be at least a little bit shorter. You see what I mean?
Right.
Okay. So, again, I never know how good people are with perspective, so if this seems 5th grade to you, that's kind of what it is. So just feel free to say, I know all this stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, when you're drawing boxes, you're going to have boxes that are going to be flat. You're going to have boxes where I can see 2 sides of them. This box here will want to be in the back. This one has 2 sides. It's going to want to be in the middle. And the box that's going to want to project to the front, you're going to find in a lot of these ideas, things break down into 3s. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So if I'm going to group objects, and these boxes just represent objects, I'm going to tend to have the object in the back be flat, or flat to me. I'm going to tend to have the object in the center be 2-sided, and then the smaller objects in the front naturally tend to fall into being sort of 3-sided objects, you see?
Okay.
They go like this. Now, they're not all going to be cubes, of course. They're going to be objects, but the concept is what really drives this stuff. So 1, 1, 2, I could have something else sitting on top. It's just going to look like that, see?
Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right? So when we start putting these shapes together, we have to be able to cut them up, okay? So with the tank, for example, we will think of the tank as, say, a rectangle. I'm going to come down like this. So, fanning. I refer to fanning as any line going to a vanishing point. I refer to fanning. So that's fanning.
Okay.
Any lines that'll never meet, I just say straight, straight, straight. Okay? So, these lines will eventually go to a vanishing point over there. So I'm going to go fanning, fanning, and then I can go straight, straight, and what I can do is I can cut a piece off this box that will be cut off the front of the tank, let's say. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So the tank has an inclined front, maybe the turret is back here and it goes up, you see? All right. So, that's basically it. If I come in here and say, okay, look, fanning, 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 see? Straight, 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 fanning, 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 okay? I'm going to go straight, fanning, straight, straight, now fanning, see? I can cut a hole in the box,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah.
So basically it's just fanning and straight, and what I actually use the words fanning and straight in my head. I speak those words to myself. I just say fanning, fanning, straight, 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 fanning, fanning, right? And the reason I do is because it keeps me on track and it keeps me from getting confused, and for students it keeps idle chatter out of your head that gets in the way.
Right.
Self-loathing, idle chatter, okay? So there's that. Now, this here is called simple subdivision. It's one of the things that we can do in perspective, drawing cubes. Another is, say, stacking, which I was explaining before. Stacking goes like this. I have this cube on top, so now I'm fanning, fanning, stacking straight, okay? Now the trick to stacking is right here, this number 2 line, which is always the one in the center. This line cannot be, you know, tangent with the line below it like that. This has to come under here, and then I'm going to go fanning, fanning, straight. See what I mean? So now I can do 1, simple subdivision. 2, I can stack. Okay? 3, I can make the box float. There are really only 5 things you can do with boxes, which is great. You don't want a lot of options. Okay, now I'm going to float a box under it. I bring this forward and down. See what I mean? Okay? What's very important is that these corners not appear to touch. You see what I mean? So, you know, that's essentially the trick. It's kind of like this here is the trick to floating. Now, floating could also be one thing stacked on the other, you know, off to a corner, but it doesn't really look that way. It looks more like the illusion of floating, right? If I actually leave a little space in here, which they call an aerial passage, and I leave a little space in here, it's even more effective, see? Okay? So that's floating. The other thing we can do is cut a hole in it. So here's the width. When I do this, I have to be very conscious of the width. You see what I mean? And then, okay? So now I've cut a hole in it. The other one, the last one, so these are 4 things we can do. The last thing we can do with a box is interpenetration, where I have this box here, and I have another one going through it. You see what I mean? Okay. And I want to have all these corners not be tangent, so this is actually a pain to draw. See what I mean? Okay? Okay, and so, you know, these are the 5 main ones. There's another one called interlocking, where you have boxes intersecting each other at odd angles, and that's just a little too complex for this particular class, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay? So, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll let you draw just about anything. Okay? You can really draw anything. Now, there are